for my intro students. We're going to start seated, and you can be sat anywhere that you can sit up nice and tall with a straight spine. So at the moment I'm sat on a little rolled up blanket because I find that comfortable. If you find sitting cross-legged comfortable, sit cross-legged. If you would rather be on your sofa or a chair to begin this practice, do that, okay? And then just let your hands rest on your thighs and take a moment to close your eyes. And then once you're there, get a little bit more tall so that you can really feel that you are reaching out through the top of the head and you're stacking up on your spine. And then just notice. Notice the parts of your body that are connecting to whatever is underneath you. So it might be the ground, might be your mat, might be your sofa. It might be that you can feel the feet or the shins, or maybe the back of the calves and the back of the thighs. You can feel your seat. They're the areas where you are grounded, connected. And then if you have the hands resting on the thighs, just feel there for a moment, the connection between the hands and the thighs. Again, just scanning up through the body from these points. Scan up through your back, through the sides of the body, shoulder blades, shoulders, coming up through the neck, through the back of the skull, and up to the top of the head, and sit tall. And then taking your breath in and out through your nose. Start to breathe more deeply. See if you can feel your breath reaching deeper into your body. Bring your hands onto your belly. See if you can feel the breath reaching into the belly and into the hands. Let your hands come just below the belly button, more onto your pelvis. Keeping the eyes closed, try and focus the breath into the pelvis. So as you inhale through your nose, see if you can feel that expansive sensation coming under the hands into the pelvic bowl. Exhale out through the nose. Inhale through the nose, send the breath low. This time as you exhale, engage your pelvic floor muscles. So that's the sensation of holding in a wee, holding in a fart. Not glamorous, super useful. So inhaling, send the breath low into the hands. Exhaling, pelvic floor gives a squeeze and a lift up. Take a few more rounds of the breath there, feeling the breath go low into the body, into the pelvis. Bring one hand onto your collarbone. Doesn't matter which one. So you've got one hand still low on the body, one hand on the collarbone. And taking the breath still in and out through the nose. See if you can isolate your breath by the bottom hand. So as you inhale, you just feel the bottom hand move. And as you exhale, same thing, bottom hand draws a little closer in. So you're collecting the breath low without letting it rise up into the chest, throat, and to the top hand. A few rounds of your pelvic breath, isolating it low in the pelvis. If it feels like that's pretty strenuous, don't strain. Just allow yourself to breathe easily. If you're starting to get the hang of the pelvic breath, We're going to start our next breath in exactly the same way. Send your breath low as you inhale, but then let it rise all the way up in your body, up to the top hand, up to the collarbones, chest, throat. And as you exhale, pelvic floor engages, and then see if you can engage the lower, middle, upper abdominals to squeeze your full breath out. So as you inhale, you're sending the breath low into the pelvis. You're letting your breath rise all the way up in the body to the top hand, and then as you exhale, pelvic floor engages, lower, middle, upper abdominals to press the breath up and out. Take a few more rounds of breath, just like that. Inhaling through the nose and exhaling through the nose. And then just release the hand to the thighs. Tilt your head forward and flutter open your eyes. Take an inhale, dropping your hands. Reach your arms all the way up and overhead until your palms come together. And as you exhale, bring the hands down through heart. Again, inhale, drop the hands, reach the arms all the way up and overhead, look up. Exhale, hands together, down through heart. One more like that. Inhale, full breath, reach the arms up and overhead. And exhaling, hands come to heart. Now if you're on your sofa, please make your way to your mat and make your way into child's pose. So you're going to have your knees still hip width distance apart. You've got your shoulders over your wrists, you're spreading out your fingers, and you're sending your seat back towards the heels. Coming into child's pose, you can let the forehead rest down towards the mat if it would like to. If that's too much intensity on the hips or on the knees, just you can stay a little bit higher. Try not to hang into your shoulders. And then again, just like you did with the breath, send the breath low into the body. See if you can feel your breath inflating into your hips, into your seat. It's a little more exaggerated when you're coming into it from child's pose, because you've got that restriction of the thighs pressing towards the abdomen. After a few deep pelvic breaths, start to introduce your full breath again. So just like you did, as you inhale, send the breath low, and then let it rise up the body, up high into the chest, throat and collarbones. And as you exhale, pelvic floor engages, you can feel the abdominals engage, send your breath up and out. So again, once more, just experiencing that full breath, feel the breath rise up through the back of the body, and exhaling, pelvic floor engages, abdominals engage. This time as you inhale, rise up with your breath. Follow it, rise to a tabletop. Reach out through the top of the head, reach out through the tail. As you exhale, send the seat back towards your heels. Find your child's pose again, so we move and breathe. Inhale, rise up to your table, reach out through the top of the head, reach out through the tail. Exhale, seat to heels, child's pose. Again, inhale, follow the breath, rise with it. Exhale, seat to heels, child's pose. Inhale, this time take it further, look ahead and lift your chest forward. Exhale, draw your chin to your chest, lift your spine, send your seat back towards your heels. Again, inhale to rise, look ahead, lift the chest forward. Exhale, chin to chest, round the spine, seat back towards the heels. One more like that. Inhale, rise, look ahead, lift the chest forward, and exhale, just look towards your mat. Okay, from there, as you inhale, you're going to take your right leg out behind you. You're going to push through the heel of the foot, draw your toes towards your shin, and then take your left arm out in front of you. So we're starting off just statically. Reach out through the fingertips, reach out through the heel. Try to notice if you're lifting that back leg and you're starting to dump into your belly or arching in the back. I want you to keep your belly button pulling in. Push out through the heel. Heel is in line with hip. Reach that arm forward. Okay. Hand down, knee down. Switch sides. Take the left leg out behind you. Take your right arm out in front of you. Spread your fingers, take energy to your fingers, take energy to your toes. Same thing, press through the heel, reach through the arm, hugging in the abdominals, trying not to let that leg get too dramatic behind you. Hand down, knee down. Okay, a little breath with the movement. On your inhale, take your right leg out behind you. And as you exhale, bring your right knee into your chest, rounding your back. Inhale, right leg goes back, push through the heel. Exhale, knee to chest and round. Again, inhale, take it back. Exhale, knee pulls in and bring that knee down. Switch sides, left leg. Inhale, take the left leg back. Exhale, knee to chest and round. Inhale, left leg back. Exhale, knee to chest and round. Inhale, left leg goes back. Exhale, round and pop your knee down. Switching sides again. This time you've got the option of adding the arm in. On your inhale, take right leg back, optional left arm forward. Exhale, elbow comes towards the knee and round. Push your mat away. Inhale, reach with the arms, reach with the leg. Exhale, elbow to knee, round. Inhale to reach. Exhale to round. Hand and knee down, switching sides. Inhale, left leg, right arm. Exhale, elbow to knee and round. Inhale to reach, press through the heel, reach for your fingers. Exhale, elbow to knee and round. One more. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, bring it in. Hand and knee come down to the mat. Brilliant stuff. Send the seat to the heels. Take a little breath there in child's pose. Forehead can rest down. Keep the elbows lifted though. And bring yourself back up to your tabletop position. So just take a little extra grip with the fingers into the mat. Curl your toes under behind you. Try and get onto the balls of the feet. The feet are still about hip width distance apart. You're going to press into your hands and press into the balls of the feet until the knees hover. And then shifting your weight back. So you're looking back to your toes, you're sending your seat back, and then you're lifting your hips up to come into a downward facing dog. Notice I have not straightened my legs because I'm going to be nice to my hamstrings. And I'm just going to lengthen one at a time. Bending the opposite knee, lengthening one leg at a time. Just to pedal into the hamstrings there. Checking in with the hamstrings nice and slow. Checking in with the back body. Just taking a little wriggle, moving and breathing. And then next inhale, lift up both heels, lift them high, lift up your hip bones, push away from the mat. And as you exhale, let the heels start to lower toward the mat. Inhale, lift up the heels, lift up your sit bones. Exhale, lower the heels. And can you wriggle your toes? Inhale, lift up the heels. Exhale, lower the heels and bring your knees back down to the mat. Okay, we talked about vinyasas in our last class. On your inhale, look forward. As you exhale, you're pulling forward as you bend the elbows. Keep those hips lifted till the last moment. Hips down, belly down, chest down. From here, you're actually going to take today, again, the arms back behind you, thumbs down, little fingers up. As you take your inhale, you're lifting your arms, your legs and your chest. And as you exhale, you're lowering arms, legs and chest. Inhale to lift arms, legs and chest into locust pose. Notice you probably want to look just above the top of your mat. Looking ahead might be a little bit extra strain on the neck. And ideally we're looking for the neck to just keep continuing along from the spine. Lowering down, sorry if I held you there forever. On your inhale, lifting arms, legs and chest. Exhale, lowering. Okay, this time we'll hold it. Inhale, lift arms, legs and chest. Hold there for your exhale. Next inhale, see if you can get a bit higher. Hold there for your exhale. Next inhale, maybe you've got some more space. Exhale, lower down. Bring your hands in line with your rib cage. So again, we're spreading the fingers. You've got your elbows bent. Hug the elbows into the sides of your body. On your inhale, keeping your feet down this time, just lift chest and hands. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift chest, leave the hands behind. Exhale, pull yourself forward with the hands. Next, inhale a little bit higher, but keep the elbows hugging in. Keep a bend in the elbows, keep pulling forward. Exhale down. Inhale, lifting to your cobra pose. Exhale, look down. Press yourself back up to your tabletop position. So let's go through that vinyasa without the interruptions and the reps. On your inhale, look forward. As you exhale, pull forward, bending the elbows, hips, belly, chest come down. Inhale, lifting to your cobra pose. Exhale, look down, pull in your belly, press up to your tabletop position. From here, curl the toes, lift the seat, come back into a downward facing dog. Now a good way to check whether our down dog is too short or whether our down dog is too long is to see if you can come into a plank without having to move your hands and feet too much. So come into a plank, lift your hips up into a downward facing dog position, and then have a little rep between them. So come to your plank, lift your hips up to down dog, and a little shuffle is okay, but you shouldn't have to be making huge big steps between down dog and plank. It's a good rough guide to where your hands and feet want to be for downward facing dog. Okay. Little bend in your knees. Walk your feet up to meet your hands. Slightly bigger bend in the knees. Let your head and your neck hang down. You might even hold on to your opposite elbows. Just give your head a little nod, yeah. Give your head a little shake, no. Take your elbows for a little wave from one side to the other, across to the right, across to the left. And bring your hands onto your shins, just below the knees. Use your next inhale to lift your chest forward and up, bringing your shoulders up in line with the hips, coming for a halfway lift. And as you next exhale, soften and fold forward again. Knees can bend a little bit more, head is heavy, head is hanging. Next inhale, hands to shins, bring your shoulders all the way up in line with the hips. Roll back the shoulders, look forward a little bit. Exhale, soften and fold forward. Inhale, come up to your halfway lift. Exhale, bend your knees, reach your arms back behind you. Inhale, reach forward, rise all the way up through your chair to stand. And exhaling, hands can come into the heart. Okay, so we're going to flow through one of your half sun salutations that we hopefully, if I remember correctly, practiced in the last video. So you are somewhere close to the top of your mat so that when you start to step back in our full sun salutations, you have got the space behind you. Your feet are roughly a hip width distance apart. A fun way to figure out if your feet are about hip width, your natural hip width distance apart, is, if you want to do this, hopefully you're not upstairs, take a little jump in the air and land. This can also tell us that sometimes our legs are a little bit naturally turned in. So I'll have another one. Little jump in the air and land. Try and be sort of floppy. Once more like that, just a little floppy jump in the air and land. And that's roughly where you'll naturally have your legs about hip width distance. So, bringing the hands to heart. We'll just do a little scan up through the body, eyes open or closed, it's up to you. Start with the feet. Feel down and feel the base of your big toe. Feel the base of your little toe. And look for that central point of your heels. Work up the body, soften off your knees. Legs are straight, knees are not locked out. Work up the body. Draw your attention to your hip points. Just see if they are facing forward or if they're facing down. See if they can comfortably face forward without feeling like that's a lot of strain or effort. And then bring your awareness to the area just underneath your belly button. And imagine that that's sort of drawing in slightly and up slightly. Roll back your shoulders. Look ahead. Draw your jawline back a little bit. If the hands aren't already there, just bring them into heart, prayer hands. And start to bring your awareness back to your breath. So in through the nose and out through the nose. With your next inhale, drop the hands and reach the arms up and overhead. As you exhale, bring the hands back to heart, hinge forward from your hips, bending the knees when you need to, your head hangs. Inhaling, come up to a halfway lift, so shoulders come forward. Exhaling, forward fold. Inhaling, come all the way up, reach your arms up and overhead. Exhaling, hands to heart. Again, inhale, reach the arms up and overhead. Exhale, hands to heart, hinge from your hips, head hangs, bend the knees. Inhaling, halfway lift, shoulders in line with your hips. Exhaling, fold, head is heavy. Inhaling, come all the way up, reach up and look up. Exhaling, hands come to the heart. On your inhale, drop the hands, reach your arms high, third time through. Exhale, hands come together, hinge from your hips, head and neck hang. Inhale, come up halfway, flatten out your back. Exhale, fold forward from your hips. Inhale, come all the way up, reach up and look up. Exhale, hands to heart and pause. So moving from our half sun salutation into a full sun salutation. From there, on your inhale, drop the hands and reach the arms high. Exhale, hands together, come to heart, hinge from the hips. Inhale, halfway lift, shoulders in line with hips. Exhaling, hands come to the mat, take your right leg back. On your inhale, just look forward. Try and pull the chest forward slightly. As you exhale, step both feet back and it's downward facing dog. Lift the hips. Take an inhale, lift up your heels, push away from your mat. As you exhale, knees come down, step your right foot forward between the hands. Inhale. Left toes curl under, lift the left leg, take your chest forward. Exhale, step your left foot forward up with the right, head and neck hands. Inhale, halfway lift, flatten the back, lengthen forward. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way up, reach up, look up. Exhale, hands to heart. Here we go. Inhale, reach high. Exhale, hinge and fold. Inhale, halfway up, flattening the back. Exhale, hands to the mat. Take your left leg back this time, ball of the left foot. Inhale, look forward, chest forward. Exhale, push into the mat, step your right foot back, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift up your heels, lift up your hips, push away from your mat. Exhale, knees come down. Step your left foot forward. Inhale, look forward, lift the right knee.
Exhale, step forward with the right foot, let your head and your neck hang. Inhale, halfway lift, flatten out the back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way up, reach up and look up. Exhale, hands come to heart. Inhale, drop the hands, reach high. Exhale, hands to heart, hinge from the hips, forward fold. Inhale, come up to your halfway lift. Exhale, hands down, take your right leg back. This time, we're staying up on the ball of the right foot. We've got left knee stacked over left ankle. Come onto your fingertips. You're going to rise up to your crescent lunge. You've got your options of bringing your hands onto the thigh. You've got the option of reaching your arms back, lifting the chest, or you can take your inhale to look forward, reach the arms up and overhead, making your way into your crescent lunge. So again, we're going to just check. We're really keeping that back heel lifted. We're on the ball of the back foot. And once we're up here, we want to have focus on hip points on full beam, shining forward. Tailbone drawing down slightly. It's really tempted in these lunges to let our bums get a little bit stuck out behind us and be in a back bend. We're not back bending yet. Lift up the heel, ball of the back foot. On your inhale, reach the arms high. As you exhale, hands down, step back to your downward facing dog. Inhale, come into your tabletop, bring the knees down. Exhale, pull forward, bend those elbows, hug them in, hips, belly, chest, come to the mat, keeping the hands where they are. Inhale, lift the chest, find your cobra, pull the chest forward, squeeze the elbows in. Exhale, look down, press all the way back up to downward facing dog. Okay, this time, as you inhale, you're going to lift up both heels and lift up your right leg behind you, three-legged dog. As you exhale, bring your right knee into your chest. You're rounding your spine. Bring your shoulders over your wrists. Inhale, take your right leg up and back behind you. Exhale, knee to chest, round the spine, shoulders over wrists. Inhale, take the leg back. Exhale, knee to chest, round the spine, shoulders over wrists, and step your foot forward. If you still need to pop the left knee down, give the right foot a little helping hand up, and then lift the left knee again. Looking forward onto the fingertips. On your inhale, rising to your crescent lunge. Again, we'll just check. Hip points forward, lifting that back heel. Inhale, reach high. Exhale, hands down. Step forward into your forward fold. Head and neck hangs. Inhale, come up to your flat back. Look ahead. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way up, reach up, look up. Exhale, hands come into the heart. We're going to do the exact same thing, but take your left leg back first. On your inhale, reach the arms high. As you exhale, fold. On your inhale, come up halfway. As you exhale, hands down, take your left leg back, ball of the left foot. Inhale, rise to your crescent lunge. Exhale, hands down, step back to downward facing dog. Inhale, come into your tabletop, bring the knees down, look forward. Exhale, pulling yourself forward, bend those elbows, hug them in, let the hips come down, belly come down, chest come down. Inhale, lifting the chest, pulling forward with the hands, keep a bend in the elbows. Exhale, look down, lift all the way back up to downward facing dog. Left leg lifts on your inhale, lifting up onto the ball of the right foot. On your exhale, bring your knee into your chest, round your spine, bring your shoulders over your wrists. Inhale, take your left leg back. Exhale, knee to chest, round, shoulders over wrists. Inhale, take the left leg back. Exhale, round and step your left foot forward between or towards the hands. Inhale, look forward, rise up into your crescent lunge. Exhale, reach forward, step forward, come into your forward fold. Inhale, come to your halfway lift, flattening your back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come up all the way, reach up and look up. Exhale, hands to heart. This time, we're going to do that exact same sun salutation again, each side, but we're just going to flow through the whole thing, moving with each breath, okay? So, again, we'll just start at the top of the mat, do a little body scan, feet, knees, hips, shoulders, head. Take a deep breath in through the nose and breathe out through your nose. And with your next breath in, reach the arms up and overhead. And as you exhale, come into your forward fold, head and neck hangs. With your inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands down, take your right leg back. Inhale, look forward, reach up, come into your crescent lunge. Exhale, hands down, step back to down dog. Inhale, forward to your tabletop position, look forward. Exhale, slowly lowering yourself all the way to the mat. Inhale, lifting the chest, coming into your cobra, pull on the hands. Exhale, look down, press all the way back up to downward facing dog. Inhale, take your right leg up behind you, come onto the ball of the left foot. Exhale, right knee into the chest, shoulders over wrists, step your right foot forward between your hands. Inhale, look forward and reach for the ceiling. Exhale, hands down, step up into your forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way up, reaching up and looking up. Exhaling, hands come into the heart. Inhale, reach your arms high. Exhale, come into a forward fold. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, hands down, take your left leg back first. Inhale, look forward, rise up into your crescent lunge. Exhale, hands down, step back to downward facing dog. Inhale, come forward to your tabletop position, look forward. Exhale, pull forward, bend the elbows, lower yourself with control to the mat. Inhale, lifting your chest, cobra pose. Exhale, look down, press up to downward facing dog. Inhale, lift the heels, lift the left leg. Exhale, left knee into the chest, step your left foot forward. Inhale, look forward, reach up, come into your crescent lunge. Exhale, fold forward, hands down, step forward, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen through your back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way up, reaching up, looking up. Exhale, hands to heart, lovely. So, now we're just gonna stick a few different postures into the middle of that sun salutation. Pause and breathe. Take an inhale, stand tall. Exhale, ground, stay there. Inhale, drop the hands and reach the arms high. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come up halfway, flattening your back. Exhale, hands down, take your right leg back. So this time, slightly differently. You're going to drop your right heel down and in, so that your right toes are pointing a little bit out to the side, a little bit forward. And then you're going to take your right arm and reach it up, reach it back and follow it until you come into warrior two. So you want your left arm reaching forward, your right arm reaching towards the back of the mat. Let's just check on the warrior two. Left toes pointing to the top of the mat. Left knee stacking over left ankle. Bring it to the hips. They're about level with each other. It can be really tempting to be a little bit
leaning forward or leaning back a little bit. They're about level with each other. Back toes slightly forward. Take the arms wide. On your inhale from your warrior two, you're going to start to reach forward with the left hand and then just pause and see how you're doing. Next inhale, you're going to reach forward again if you've got more space and then holding it with your exhale. Again, inhale, reach forward. Then as you exhale, bring your left elbow onto your left thigh or your forearm onto the thigh. Inhale, reach up with the right arm. Push away from the floor. It can be really tempting to sink into this shoulder. Don't. Press out. Keep your head lifted up in space. Keep reaching for the ceiling with the right arm. And then we're going to take this right arm, turn the palm to face the same way as the top of the head. And as you inhale, reach that arm overhead. And feel that juicy, juicy stretch all the way through the side of the body. Reaching, lengthening through the right side. Hold it there for another full breath. Reach away with the inhale, holding it with the exhale. Next inhale, reach up. Come right the way back up. Reach both arms overhead, straighten out through both legs. And then exhale, press back into your warrior two. From warrior two, you're going to turn your front hand so your palm faces up. As you inhale, reach up with the left hand. As you exhale, drop the right hand to find the right leg behind you. Next inhale, just see if you've got any more space. Both sides, lift up, reach up. As you exhale, this hand starts to reach back. You start to lean back slightly without squeezing, collapsing in the right side. Lengthen up through both sides, reach over. Stay here, inhale, see if you can bring more length through the left side. With the exhale, just don't look at it, but remind yourself, the left knee is still bent, isn't it? It hasn't followed you, bend the left knee. One more inhale there. Last exhale, stay there. Inhale, reach the left arm up. Exhale, back to warrior two. Lovely. You're going to practice a transition I like to do between warrior two and crescent lunge. So your back hand is going to sweep forward. And as the back hand sweeps forward, lift up onto the ball of the back foot. So you're lifting up the heel onto the ball of the back foot, then reaching the arms overhead. So we'll go back to warrior two. Back hand sweeps forward, lift up onto the ball of the back foot. If it needs a little hop, you can give it a little hop. Then bringing the hands down either side of your front foot. Right hand stays on the mat, left hand comes onto left hip. As you take your inhale, reach the crown of your head forward, reach your tail backwards, really lengthen out through the body. And then as you breathe out, you're going to lift up your left shoulder, stack it up on top of the right shoulder. Press into that right hand. Again, tempting to dump into the shoulder, don't. Press out. Reach up for the ceiling with the left hand. If you're feeling comfortable and you're not going to topple over, take an inhale here. Exhale, hand down, step back to your tabletop position. So then we'll add in our vinyasa to switch sides. Inhaling, look forward. Exhaling, pull forward, elbows bend, hips, belly, chest. Inhaling, lift the chest. Exhaling, press into the hands, pull in the belly, come all the way back to down dog. Inhale, lift up your right leg behind you. As you exhale, step your right foot forward. So again, we'll pause here. You're going to drop your left heel down and in. You're going to stack your right knee over right ankle. We're taking the left hand, we're reaching forward, we're reaching up, and then we're going to reach it all the way back and rise up into your warrior two. So again, we're stacking right knee over right ankle, right toes are pointing forward, the knee is tracking in the same direction as the toes. Working it back, we're taking the pelvis away from that front knee. Back toes pointing slightly forward, taking the arms nice and wide. So you've got your right arm reaching forward, your left arm reaching back. With your inhale again, reach forward, hold it for your exhale. Inhale, reach forward, stay there for the exhale. If you've got more space, reach again with your inhale. Exhale, forearm comes down onto the thigh. Get it comfy. Inhale, reach up with your left arm and holding it there, exhaling. Each inhale, you keep pressing away from the mat. You're pressing arm into thigh, thigh into arm, pushing out of that shoulder, not dumping into it, and keeping your head lifted up in space. It's really tempting to let the head hang. Don't. Strengthen your neck, reach up. Turning the top palm, left palm, to face the same way as the top of your head. Use your inhale to reach that arm overhead, holding it there with your exhale. Each inhale, you really are reaching through the fingertips, you're lengthening through that side of the body. Hold on your exhale. One more inhale here. Last exhale, inhaling, reach up, follow the arms, straighten the front leg, reach the arms overhead. Exhale, press back into your warrior two. Check on your front hand, turn it up, palm up. Inhale, reach for the ceiling with the right arm. Exhale, drop the left hand to find the left leg behind you. Inhale, reach up. Maybe you can lengthen a bit more through both sides of the body. Exhale, start to reach over. Each inhale, you're lengthening more through that right side, up through the right elbow, holding it with the exhale. One more inhale there. Your last exhale there. Next inhale, reach up again. And exhaling, find your way back to warrior two. From here, again, we're going to practice that transition. Left hand sweeping forward, lift up the left heel onto the ball of the left foot, reach the arms high. Drop the left hand, drop the left heel, warrior two. Try it again. Sweep the left arm forward, lift up the heel as you go, come into your crescent lunge. Drop the heel, drop the hand, warrior two. Once more, through to your crescent lunge. Bring your hands down either side of your front foot. So your left hand is staying down on the mat. You're welcome to put the left knee down if you'd like to. Right hand, right hip. Take an inhale, lengthen. So the reason we've got the hand on the hip here is just to have some awareness of whether the hips are totally dropping as we start to come into our twist. We want to keep them ish in the same place. Inhale, lengthen through. As you exhale, lift up, right shoulder, stacking it up and back on top of the left. Then take your next inhale, reach up for the ceiling, holding it there. You can keep the hand reaching for the ceiling, you can keep the hand on the hip, it's up to you. And again, we're keeping our head held up in space. We're pushing away. It's tempting to sink into the pose. Don't push away, resist gravity, be strong. One more inhale, exhaling, hand down, step back to downward facing dog. Bring your knees down and send your seat back to the heels, find child's pose. Take a breath, maybe two in child's pose. Don't get too comfy. And then come on up to your tabletop. Swing your legs around and sit on your bottoms. So you're sitting on your sit bones. I'm going to bring your hands onto your shins. You're going to lift your chest and roll back your shoulders there. From here, just reach your arms straight out in front of you. Now it can be tempting as soon as we reach forward to put a bit too much effort in and start to round in the top of the back. We're not looking for that here. So pull the shoulder blades toward each other and bring your shoulders into their sockets. Take an inhale here. And as you exhale, you're going to rock back slightly and lift your feet off. As you inhale, rock forward and you can reach forward. Exhale, rock back and let the feet lift. Inhale, rock forward, reach forward. Exhale, rock back, feet lift. Move and breathe. Inhale, rock forward. Exhale, rock back. If this is feeling super easy and you want it to be slightly more difficult, as you rock back, stay there. If you're thinking that's me, stick with the rocking. On your inhale, you're just going to reach the feet a little bit higher
And as you exhale, bend at the knees. Inhale, lift the feet, lift your chest. Exhale, bend the knees. One more. Inhale, lift. Exhale, bend the knees, feet to the floor. Hug your shins and let the head hang down over the knees. Just give yourself a little hug there. Take a couple of breaths. See if you can feel the breath reaching into the back of the body whilst you're rounded forward slightly. And then take your feet out in front of you. Your feet go out in front and your hands come down directly by your sides. Now for me, with my proportions, my hands are hovering just off the mat. Yours might be on the mat, but ideally the hands are kind of decorative at this stage. From here you're going to push through your heels and try and draw the toes back so much that you might even get a little bit of a hover of the heels. If sitting at a 90-degree angle is not accessible for you today, in this case you're going to either bring the hands behind you a little bit and lean, or to sit up tall, you can push into the heels of the feet, little bend in the knee, and really try and, almost like you're trying to pull the bottom of your mat towards you. So we're really trying to switch on the legs one way or another. Pressing down through the hands, try and lift up through the top of the head and stay there. So you're using the body to hold the body up. Each inhale you're seeing if you can be a little bit taller. With the exhale, maybe you're pulling the toes, pressing through the heels. Can you feel the thighs kind of going, that's what we're looking for, we want to switch stuff on. You've got 2 more full breaths, hold it. Each inhale, keep tall, holding strong with the exhale. Last full breath. And this time bring the hands behind you with the exhale. Fingers face towards the toes. Now the legs are still switched on, but you can let the heels rest onto the mat. Press into the hands. Now the full breath we practiced right at the beginning of this class. Started low, worked its way up high. And we're going to use that for this next little sequence. With your inhale, send the breath low and let it lift up your belly. And then let the breath lift up your ribs, lifting the chest and then lifting your gaze towards the ceiling. As you exhale, we're letting the pelvic floor give a little squeeze and pull in the belly. Let the ribs start to draw in, let the chest start to sink and look towards over your toes. So as you inhale, lifting up the belly, lifting up the rib cage, lifting up the chest, looking to the ceiling. Exhale, drawing in the belly, drawing in the rib cage, drawing in the chest and looking towards the toes. Once more like that. Inhaling in your own time, lifting the chest, lifting the gaze, roll back the shoulders. Exhaling, reverse that process. And this time we'll stay there. Inhale to lift, roll back the shoulders, hold there with your exhale, push into the hands. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, can you draw the tail back behind you slightly? One more inhale. And exhaling, softening there. Lovely. Bend your knees. Scoot your hips up towards your heels. Roll back onto your back. Roll back your shoulders. Lift the chin. From here, your hands are going to come down by your sides. Palms down. Your feet are about hip width distance. You can feel that. You don't need to look. You are looking ideally for the knees to be somewhere about over the ankles. And then similar sort of thing to what we just did. First of all, lift your hips about 1 inch off the mat. Push into your feet, push down into the hands, and then draw your tailbone towards your heels, but draw your hip points up towards your face. And you should feel the lower abdomen switch on. You should feel a stretch coming into the quads here, and even the hamstrings are switching on. So once you've Drawn the tail down and the hip points up towards the face. You're going to use your inhale to lift the hips towards the ceiling. So inflating, inflating, inflating just like you did. And then as you exhale, lowering the hips back down all the way to the mat. So that same switching on. Inhale, tail down, hip points up. Lift the hips towards the ceiling. Exhale, try and roll the vertebrae back down to the mat. Once more like that. Inhale, rolling up, lifting the hips. Exhale, rolling yourself all the way back down. This time, we're going to lift up and stay there for 3 breaths. Or you can move dynamically again, it's up to you. Inhale to lift the hips. Peel your back off the mat. As you exhale, just push into the hands and the feet. Push into the back to the arms. Inhale, bring the breath up high into the chest. You might need to lift the chin slightly if you're feeling smothered or if the neck's digging into the mat. Push into the hands and feet with the exhale, hold it there. Can you feel the glutes switching on? Can you feel the backs of the legs? One more inhale there. Exhaling, roll yourself back down, allowing one vertebra at a time to find contact with the mat. Letting the back of the pelvis rest down. You might even have a little bit of a curve at the lumbar spine, a little bit of a lift in the lower back. Just let that be there. I even love just to tuck the hands underneath to hold that space. Let it be there for at least 2 or 3 breaths. It can be really tempting to pull the knees into the chest, but I urge you not to. Instead, send a few breaths down into the lower back, into the belly. Then you're just going to let the hips take a little sway, not very far, but the knees drop from side to side. And then wriggle your feet so that the big toes come together and let the knees drop out to opposite sides. Soles of the feet together, knees to opposite sides. Hands can come to rest on the lower belly or maybe even the hips. And then bring your right knee to face the ceiling before extending your right leg down and away from you. Bring your left knee to face the ceiling. Bring your left knee in towards your chest. You can bring the hands onto the left shin. Just get a little hug in there. And then draw the left toes towards the shin first. Imagine you're pressing up through your left heel, driving it towards the ceiling, pressing that leg away, and then lengthening the left leg all the way away and down. Draw the right knee in towards the chest, give that leg a little hug in. Then again, draw the toes back towards your shin. Imagine you're pressing up through the right heel as you drive that foot towards the ceiling. Lengthening through the right leg and extending your right leg away and down. Step both feet in so the feet are flat on the mat, your knees are bent. Lift your hips up an inch off your mat. Take your hips over to the right hand side of your mat and then put them back down. Take your right leg, step it over, cross it over the left leg. Take your arms out wide. Take an inhale and use your exhale to drop the legs towards the left. Look over towards the right. Just let yourself be there. Let yourself just settle there. Be soft, be still, and breathe. I sometimes find it helpful to wriggle my left shoulder out from under me slightly. If you're finding the full breath useful here, then you can use it. If you'd rather soften and relax a little more into a more natural breath, do that instead. Move very slowly as you start to draw the knees back up to the middle. Uncross the legs. Lift your hips again about an inch off the mat. Scoot them all the way over to the left side of your mat. So beyond the middle, all the way to the left side of the mat. You've left your shoulders in the middle. The hips have gone to the left. Left leg crosses over the top of the right leg. Take an inhale. As you exhale, let the knees and the legs drop over towards the right. And you can look over towards the left. Again, if it feels necessary, you can wriggle the right shoulder out from underneath you slightly. Allow yourself to soften. If the full breath is feeling soothing, it's feeling necessary, then use it. If you'd rather just soften into a more natural rhythm of breath, do that instead. Again, move slowly, move softly. Start to bring your knees back into the middle. Start to bring your hips back into the middle. Undo the legs. Draw both knees into your chest and hug them. Hug your shins. Take a deep breath in and a breath out. And then extend one leg at a time. Let your heel come to the mat before extending the next leg. Take your feet a little bit wider than you think you might. Almost mat width distance might be comfortable. Turn your toes, let them drop out to the sides. Let the hips and the knees just soften out to the sides. And then just bring your hands and rest them on your torso so the elbows are bent. And you can either leave the hands on the torso or keeping the elbows where they are, just extend the arms on that line. Let the hands come down to the floor. Close your eyes. Now you're welcome. If you've got a dash, you can roll up your mat now. You can stop the video here. If you would like to spend a little while longer coming into Shavasana, into corpse pose, into relaxation, then keep me playing and I'll talk you through a few ways in which we can do that. Close the eyes and become aware of your body. And we're going to consciously get comfortable. So areas I like to check are my shoulder blades. Could I tuck them underneath me a little bit more so that they're not digging into the floor? Is laying flat on my back comfortable for my lower back, or would I prefer to bend my knees, have them about the width of the mat, and let the knees knock in together? Decide what's more comfortable for you. Scan through your body
Any areas that aren't quite comfortable yet, attend to them. Now is your chance to fidget, to move. Once you're comfortable, begin to settle into your stillness. Be still. Be still and become aware of your breathing without altering it, without interfering with it. Just observe. Observe the patient inhale and exhale. Observe the passing of each breath. Observe the expansive sensation as you draw in each breath and the softening relaxation as you exhale each breath. Become aware of your space as you draw back to your body. Feel your body connected, grounded by all the points where it meets the floor. Take in a deeper, more energetic breath. Wriggle your fingers, wriggle your toes. Allow your head to just softly drop to one side. Draw back to the center and drop to the other side. Draw back to the center. One leg at a time, bend your knees, place your feet to the floor. Take your time. When you're ready, roll to your side. And again, take your time. You can even just make a little pillow here if you want to. Press into the hands. Come up to a comfortable seated position. Take a deep breath in. Take a sigh. Thank you, everybody. Namaste.